Hi everybody. Today I just want to talk a little bit about Professor Edward A. Brown and making the impossible possible. So who's Professor A. Brown? Well, if you do a search online, you'll find a number of Professor Browns, but the one particular one that I'm talking about, Professor A. Brown, was a resident of New Canaan in Norwalk, Connecticut, and also a master of Ishinryu karate. Ed Brown was born in 1942, and he died in 2013. Now, I met Ed Brown in the 80s. I think it was 1986. And I think at the time he was a 7th Dan, that is a 7th degree black belt in Ishinryu karate. And he was teaching in a school which was in the basement of a bowling alley in Norwalk, Connecticut. I grew up in Reading, Connecticut, so it was about a half an hour or so drive from where I grew up. And when I was an 18-year-old in high school, I decided that I wanted to do martial arts. And I had some friends at the time that I played on the high school soccer team with who were also doing karate. And so they recommended that I go to the school, and I checked it out. Now, Ed Brown wasn't a very big man. I'm only 5'7". He was shorter than me, so 5'5" maybe at the most. But really one of the most intimidating individuals I have ever met. He was an ex-Marine. I think he spent over 20 years in the Marine Corps. He first learned Ishinryu karate when he was stationed at Okinawa. And he learned it as part of the hand-to-hand combat that Marines train in on Okinawa. And he very quickly became an instructor. He also knew several other martial arts. I'm pretty sure he had a black belt in judo, possibly one in jiu-jitsu. He was very skilled at Filipino foot fighting and stick fighting. A very intense, very strict man. He ran his dojo like a Marine Corps. He was also famous for his ability at tamashiwara, which is breaking. He was amazing at breaking things and held multiple world records in breaking. So I just want to briefly talk about my short experience. I only studied with him for about a year. I made it to green belt. I really liked it, but at a certain point I had to leave and go off to university. But I just wanted to share in particular, I went to one tournament where I took part in sparring and also in form. And I think I took first in sparring for the white and yellow belts and second in form. But part of the tournament there was a demonstration in breaking. And this is where I saw Ed Brown break 15 chimney bricks stacked flat on the floor, no spacers, using a knife hand strike. And at the time, that was a world's record. And what I found completely astounding was that when physicists made a machine to break these chimney bricks, the machine itself broke after something like 8 or 9 bricks. So based on sort of our current understanding of the laws of physics and human physiology, it should be impossible for any man to do this. And yet here I was in front of my own eyes watching Professor Brown break these bricks. Also part of his demonstration, he held 2 chimney bricks in one hand and cut them in half with a knife hand while holding them. He put on handcuffs and took a deck of cards. He ripped those deck of cards in half. Then he broke out of the handcuffs. And then he took the half deck of cards and ripped them into quarters with his teeth. I was also told that when he went to Japan, that he could perform other feats, such as being able to puncture a hole in an oil drum with his big toe. Also, as part of his training, his conditioning for his knuckles and his elbows and things like that, he had massive calluses on his hands, on his elbows, and apparently he'd broken over 127 bones in his body while attempting various breaks or training for various breaks. So this was a very intense individual, quite a remarkable individual. He did go on to found his own style, become a Grandmaster of his own style. So he was a 10th degree Dan, or a red belt, and I think his style was called Chiro Kan Bushi Shindo. And he's always stuck with me. He's always been a part, my experience has always been a part of my life. But I think looking back at my life now, being a man in his 50s and a student of Kung Fu and also Jiu-Jitsu, and a practitioner of meditation for many, many years, just knowing Ed Brown, just seeing what he was capable of doing, really showed me that we don't really know what the limits are of human potential and what we can and can't do. Not even the scientists, not even the experts know. And that human beings are capable of amazing things, amazing feats of strength, of healing, of endurance, and who knows, even paranormal abilities. So this was quite an amazing thing for me to learn as a young man, only 18 years old. And it sort of opened my mind to all these possibilities. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please check out my other videos, or you can check me out at my webpage, which is just douglasosto.com. I've also written 7 books, so you can check those out on Amazon too, either under my name Douglas Osto, or sometimes I write under D.E. Osto. So hope you enjoyed this video, and please check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, this is Dr. D signing off.